Okay, we're starting with Fire Nation. Oh yeah, because you just found out that Aang's still alive.
Strike tonight. Shouldn't we wait? We don't have the numbers. We don't need numbers. We have hope.
Hope for what? What are you guys doing?
I want you to meet someone willing to risk everything for our cause.
What is their cause?
My mother and my brother.
That's
Nasija Basingsay.
that's the actress playing Azula, is it not? I like that they mentioned the Caesar Bossing Say though. I almost completely missed that.
Fire Lord Ozai must die tonight!
Oh, this is a setup. This is a complete setup. I'm very certain that's the actress playing Azula. You really, like, this guy really thought that they were gonna go in and kill Fire Lord Ozai. He just said, we don't need numbers. We have our pain and our grief. No, just no. Fire Lord Ozai of all people. And it looks like they're not even benders. They all just have regular weapons. Nah, he would have wiped the floor with them regardless. If this was a setup or not. The throne looks so cool, but I want to see him sitting on it. Like, I don't want it to just be in the background.
But you must have known this was a one-way journey. Or did you expect my men to just lay down their arms after you slaughtered their Fire Lord? Are we not the greatest nation in the world?
Yeah, it depends on who you talk to.
Our rule, to ensure an era of peace.
At what cost? How many more lives?
I mean, yeah, like they haven't even, to be honest, they really haven't even conquered a lot of stuff at this point. You still have the North Pole. You still got Ba Sing Se and Omashu. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they still have to do, so it probably would take another 100 years.
Azula.
Yeah, I knew that was her. But I don't, like, he really thought they were gonna go in and kill the Fire
There's
Lord.
one out there who cannot be stopped. The one who will restore balance to the world. The one who has returned to us.
Word spread fast that the Avatar was back. Wow.
Can you believe they think the Avatar has returned?
Leave us.
So even Azula didn't know yet. How did the commoners know, but Azula didn't?
What's this?
A message from one of my commanders in the Southern Seas. No one of any importance.
Oh, wow. No one of any importance. All right, Zhao, we're starting off at the way bottom. You're gonna have to climb your way up. Katara's practicing. Yeah. Ah, yes, the water whip. As soon as I saw that scroll, I was like, we have to do the water whip. There's no way we can't do it. Oh, they finally took off their winter gear, like their heavy coats.
I don't get it.
You just have to flow through the motion.
All the more reason for us to get to the Northern Water Tribe, right? That's right.
Yep.
We've got the best waterbending masters in
Both,
the world.
yep, both get a master. I might even listen to them. Okay. Oh, that's adorable. That's really cute. They're doing a good job of getting Momo right so far. That's awesome. If there's a scene where Momo dance, I need his classic music, the lemur music that they always have him messing around to.
I think it's another Airbender.
Oh, I barely saw that glider. I could barely see that. Aang's got some good eyes.
Understood, but if I may, we have a window of opportunity as long as the Avatar remains in this area.
Is Zhao on the boat with them?
I suggest you allow me to contact a few trusted sources to the Fire Nation.
To the Fire Nation. They need a new chant anthem or whatever that was.
I spoke to some of his crew. Word is, Zhao failed his officer training program 3 times.
Did I ask for your opinion?
Why are you yelling at him? And that wasn't an opinion. That was he was informing you of something. Okay. We got hot-headed Zuko, check.
He was gossiping about a superior officer.
An officer you don't like?
That's beside the point. We are Fire Nation. Even out here.
Okay, that makes sense why he yelled at him like that.
Omashu was carved out of a living mountain. It's one of the wonders of the Earth Kingdom.
What do you mean by living mountain?
They have an incredible delivery system that winds through.
Ah, yeah, the chutes. That looks really good. That line is long. You guys might just need to fly in. Whoa, why are you? Whoa. Was that? No, those aren't cabbages. I was about to say, is that cabbage man?
They don't take kindly to outsiders in Omashu.
What makes you think we're outsiders?
Look at you. I always thought that too. Like everywhere they went, they were always in their water tribe gear. Aang could pass, but they're definitely Katara and Sokka are definitely just stand out. There you go.
Sorry. It's out of the turnip sack.
Is that Sokka in the turnip sack? So last episode we got. Wait, who is this supposed to be? I was gonna say last episode we got Sokka's love interest, but who's this guy flirting with Katara?
Headed to market, as usual.
Where's Aang?
Oh, it wasn't a great crop this month.
Irrigation, am I right?
Irrigation, am I right? Oh, there's Aang. They didn't even talk about Aang. That looks good, yeah. We're here. We're at Omashu. I can't wait to see them riding in one of those. Pie show boards? Okay. I don't think, has Iroh mentioned Pie show yet? I don't know.
Good luck finding your friend. And be careful. Omashu can be a dangerous place.
I mean, okay, well, I'm sure they changed it. I was about to say, I'd be more worried at Ba Sing Se than Omashu. Are we gonna, who is that guy talking to Katara? Cause they never said, oh wait!
Watch out for my
Is this the same guy? Was that, it sounded like him when he said watch out for my... Yeah, Haru. Not
You're
Haru.
not an airbender.
Wait, what's his name? Hold on.
Of course I'm not.
Yo! I already knew that they were combining Omashu with the, I think it was the Northern Air Temple episode. Yeah. So if you're wondering why I'm not surprised, that's why I'm not surprised.
You're a waterbender. Tail! Tail!
Teo, okay. Haru's the Earthbender, my bad.
My name is Sai.
Are we gonna figure out why the building just exploded?
You're an airbender. Do you realize what this means? We finally have a way to take the fight to the enemy. You could drop bombs on them, rain down destruction. Air
Rain
power
down
is their
destruction.
weakness, and you are air power.
I like the confidence, but it's just one person.
Hey, if everyone in Omashu were as dedicated as you, this war would be over. The Fire Nation would be on their knees by now.
Here we go. It looks like they may be following the same story beat for the mechanist. What'd they say? What do you call him? Mechanist, yeah. Yeah. Luckily at Kyushu Island, no one was seriously hurt, but yeah, there were a lot of civilians in that around that building.
Now tell me about these bombings.
Why did you go to?
Done the impossible.
I wonder why he went to
Done
them with
nothing.
that.
He spent 3 years on an ocean cruise while I've been here doing everything Father has asked.
Wait, are these the archers from when
Tell us about your mission. Were you nervous?
Okay,
Was your
hold
life
on.
really in danger? Not really. People in the Resistance aren't the brightest of flames.
Oh, the mission from the beginning. Oh, was she shooting at the
There are
letter?
always ways to get in the game.
Yeah, I think those are the archers from the episode when Katara and Sokka got sick. Their face paint looks familiar.
Avatar, and how he'd return one day. Dad, do you remember her story?
Oh, is that the blimp? Is that the design for the blimp?
Like this.
Oh,
That's just an
yeah.
experiment. I can't even get the damn thing to work.
Look, I'm not here to cause any.
So yeah, they're definitely
All I
following
know
the
is
same story beat with him. I like that they're planting the seed for Sokka.
Omashu.
enemy territory.
Indeed. But not to worry. There are ways to gain entry if you know the right people. Which I do.
Can you elaborate? Who? This is interesting. I wonder. I don't know. I don't think Zuko ever went to Omashu in the first show. Like, in season 1 or in season 2. I don't think he ever went there. Azula was there, though. that was pretty good. Her getting smacked in the face. If I was a waterbender, I'd be doing that all the time. Trying to practice stuff. Yeah, okay, yep. He's making stuff for the Fire Nation. You stand out very much with a red cloak on, walking around in Omashu of all places. It's not a very good disguise. Oh, it's not really red, but in that last shot, it definitely looked like it was red. Oh, this is Jet? Okay, I was like...
Wait.
I was thinking about it in my head. I was like, there's only one other person that Katara ever had, like, you know, interest in. But, okay. So they combined Omashu, the Northern Air Temple, and the Freedom Fighters episode. I just knew about the first two. This is interesting. I like that on that last part he had to get behind Aang and follow Aang's updraft.
Big talk for someone who's outnumbered.
Is he though?
Good thing I brought friends then.
Yeah. See, they have better disguises than you. You would never know that they were secretly Fire Nation. Okay. No, good. They're next to a puddle. Oh, it's more of a... I don't want to call it a pond, but yeah, you know what I mean. Good job, Katara. Yeah. Did he put his swords down to do that? I don't know. Hey, Pipsqueak! Okay, Smellerbee. And the Duke. Ooh, long shot? Yeah.
Where's he taking him?
You gotta dispose of the bodies.
Pipsqueak knows how to take out the garbage. Coming?
I do wonder what they're gonna... Okay, see, if they would have done that from the beginning, I would have known exactly who that was. I'm sure they intentionally held off on that so you wouldn't know that that was Jet. For people that have seen the show.
Ah, very clever. Your father must be proud of you.
Yeah, Sokka, he's proud of you. It's just been a while since you've seen him.
The world is filled with warriors, but there are far too few great engineers.
That's true.
Sokka, you're a gifted engineer. Don't ignore that. It's not always easy to find your path in life, but when you find it, you must embrace it.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a mineral tanners use to cure animal skins. They came up.
Okay, that blast was green. The explosion, I thought it was. But I didn't want to say anything and be wrong.
Welcome.
Are they still... Well, no, I guess they're on the outskirts of Omashu. I was gonna say. I don't think the wheelchair was making all that noise a minute ago. What's it called in Game of Thrones? Dragon's breath or something?
Salt water and then boil it down. You get this blasting jelly. A few jars could blow half the neighborhood sky high.
Just the green flame, the green explosion is just what made me think of it. But I forgot if it's called Dragon's breath or it's called something else.
The firebenders weren't behind the explosion.
Is that supposed to be the same one that Sokka was wrapped in? Is that how he knew it wasn't the Fire Nation? Dude, her being there to witness that is such a crazy, so intense, gruesome.
What do you remember when you think of your mother? I don't mean how she died. I mean when she was alive.
I do I think this is a nice little twist, like Jet helping her through. I mean, she didn't really have a block in the series, like a mental block that kept her from bending. But you know, adapting it to live action, you're gonna have to change some stuff.
We just need to decide what we're gonna do with it.
That's a good line. Look at you, Jet. I'd be almost proud of you if I didn't know what was really going on. I still think it's weird that after finding out that the mechanist, whatever, is working for the Fire Nation, that she wouldn't go tell Aang and Sokka. Because I know that Joe was like, you know, he's not going to do anything on his own. He's a coward, but still, you'd want them to know.
Stench?
Hey.
What happened there?
Why are you asking Iroh? He just got there like you did.
That's not right. Warriors don't hide their faces in a fight. Father would never approve of this underhanded tactic.
Given how long this...
Zuko. Come on now. Did you pay for that pie show tile, Iroh?
In return, I will keep in mind your loyalty and cooperation when the time comes for such debts to be paid.
Oh, is she talking to... Yeah, Zhao. That's interesting, having Azula and Zhao work together. It makes sense, though.
You know the officer on Prince Zuko's crew, the one who slipped you the information about the Avatar?
Lieutenant Chi.
I'd like to speak to him.
Is this the one that's been talking that Zuko was getting onto about gossiping?
That's not all. We also found these. The ropes from the turnip cart.
Okay, yeah. They were the
was
same
it the
ropes.
firebenders behind the explosion? It was...
You're not gonna believe this. I know who's behind the bombings.
Everybody's like, wait.
Well, Jet's a con artist who lied to our faces.
He didn't lie.
He didn't tell the truth.
This is just like you, never believing anything I say. I'm so sick of you treating me like I'm a little girl.
Then grow up!
Wow. Alright. Alright, Sokka. Where did she get this scarf from? I'm very confused. Is that that's not what Jet put on her? He put like a little blanket on her.
Would you like to try one of
Not right now.
I'm glad that Coward Man got some screen time. Even if it was only a few seconds. Is that why they put that scarf on her for that scene with Zuko? Because I'm like, it really just came out of nowhere. Okay, what's the plan here? Pipsqueak and Duke. The thing that I always think about with
Going to blow
they're gonna
him up?
yeah, they're gonna blow him
Not
up.
just him. He's got an audience with the king. This is our chance to burn out.
You're gonna blow up Boomy? No, we're not doing that.
Sokka was right.
No, but I was about to say those scenes where they like switch boxes and stuff on people. What if what you put in there is extremely heavy and what was actually in there was actually really light? You know, like how do you know how much it's supposed to weigh? Or vice versa, if what you're holding is really heavy, yeah,
That's the
you know what I mean. Just the weight of the box, I feel like you would know. There we go.
This guy?
I can't take Iroh seriously with with what he's wearing. What do you think you're gonna do? Oh, we're just this only? Okay. Good luck with that, Zuko. Let's go, Aang. Wait. How's the chute going up the hill? Is there an Earthbender on it? Like making it go up? That's cool. That was really cool. Ooh. He took a plate to the face. That's really good. I'm getting like... I think I'm getting like Jackie Chan vibes from this fight with Aang. I'm taking it, that child. That was a bit extra. You didn't have to get off the table like that. You could have just got up. But yeah, the way that Aang's running around and just grabbing stuff, using it to block, it's very Jackie Chan like. Where it's like, I don't know, you're fighting and it's like he doesn't know what he's doing, but he does at the same time, you know? Like random accidents.
So I said all routes lead to the palace. We just have to take this one to the end of the line.
How is it going up? I want to know.
The end of the line may be coming soon.
How is this chute going uphill? Can someone leave it in the comments? Because I want to know. Like, obviously the answer is earthbending, but where is the earthbender?
You have my notebook.
You have my... That was a weird line. You have my notebook. All right, we got the line. There's Boomy. That hat is serious. I think it's interesting that none of Boomy's guards can see him sitting in the tree directly across from them. Good job, Katara.
We must leave.
Zuko trying to fight his way through that crowd looked really weird to me. Like, because as soon as Uncle Iroh showed up, he stopped getting ran into by people.
Go, save yourself.
What?
For the Fire Nation!
Iroh, what are you doing? That's a lot of fire. So at least we kind of know how strong Iroh is. I mean, we already know how strong Iroh is. I don't see why Iroh did that. Because I'm pretty sure he could have escaped with Zuko. Like, they weren't yeah, you know, the scar is obvious, but you know, like how in the show, how they played it off? That because he has the scar, obviously he's not a firebender, because the firebender burned him. So I'm not really sure why Iroh did that, so Zuko could get away. What are you doing to Aang? Why did they do that when they walked up to him? That was so unnecessary. It's like they had to do a power pose after you kidnap somebody or capture somebody. All right, so that's it for episode 3 of The Last Airbender. So far, I knew that this episode that they were gonna do, you know, Omashu and the Northern Air Temple episode in 1. I did not see Jet and the Freedom Fighters joining, and you know, it worked out okay. When you have animated shows or just shows in general that are longer than the original, you know, Netflix is only doing 8 episodes, and when you try to compress all those storylines down, you know, sometimes even though you have a whole hour for an episode, sometimes you can't get the whole message through. But I believe that they did a good job so far, and I really don't have any issues with this episode, other than like little nitpicky stuff. But yeah, so all in all, great episode. I do like that we're getting a little bit more of, you know, Katara learning to waterbend, and I do think her having not issues, but you know, her waterbending being affected by her thoughts of her mother and the trauma that she has. I think that's an interesting twist, and I do enjoy it actually, because it would make sense, you know, the Fire Nation came to the South Pole to hunt down waterbenders, and well, I don't know if they're gonna keep that storyline the same, but you know, obviously if you're a child, having your mother die in front of you while the firebenders are looking for waterbenders, you know, it would affect you a little bit. But I do find it interesting that in episode 1, all she wanted to do was learn how to waterbend. You know, she kept trying in the little puddle in the ship, the destroyed Fire Nation ship, and you know, Sokka was yelling at her like, you don't need to be waterbending, but she's like, you know, I can help fight. And you know, that drive that she had for waterbending, it doesn't feel like it's gone. Like, obviously she's still practicing and obviously she's still learning how to do it, but in the first 2 episodes, well, no, in the Kyoshi episode, it did show a flashback to her mother. But yeah, it just kind of felt like the trauma block, you know, it kind of just felt like it showed up a little bit. But I do think it's a good addition, because it would make, like I said, it would make sense that, you know, you wanting to learn how to waterbend and your mother being taken or your mother's life being taken because, you know, the Fire Nation was hunting down waterbenders, obviously that would affect you a lot. So other than that, that was cool. Jet being here, I think the actor that did Jet played a good job. I did like that they left out the little wheat straw that he's always chewing on. I do like that they left that out until after the reveal, because if he would have been, if it would have been in his mouth while they were standing at the gate of Omashu, I would have known who that was instantly. But the fact that they didn't, and they didn't have him put on his, you know, his outfit until later, was really good. I will say though, the treehouse, the Freedom Fighter treehouse, compared to the live action one, a little disappointed. It was a lot cooler in the animated one, but you know, I understand. And you know, they don't really have a problem doing CG backgrounds. Like they've been doing it a lot, and honestly, it's not that bad. The CG backgrounds are fine. So I feel like they could have done just a little CG background of the, you know, the actual treehouse, like all the way up in the trees and stuff. But it worked out fine. As far as we get to like the Northern Air Temple with the Mechanist, that stuff was really good, really on point. You know, Aang thinking that it's another Airbender, but it's not, and then the Mechanist working for the Fire Nation. You know, everything worked out. This is clearly a two-parter because we're gonna have more to go into. Because, you know, obviously we didn't finish what happened here. And then, interestingly, this episode was titled Omashu, and we didn't see Bumi. I mean, we only saw Bumi once. And Aang hasn't mentioned Bumi at all. So I wonder, I mean, it's been 100 years. He probably thinks Bumi's dead, just like how well, not just like how Gyatso died. But it's been 100 years. I don't think he's thinking about, you know, friends that he used to have in the city. Because, you know, he said he used to come here all the time. The food was great, so it'll be fun when they get to finally reunite. But other than that, everything was cool. Yeah, really no issues with this episode. I will say, like I was saying before, when you're adapting animation to live action, and you're condensing it down into such few episodes, there's a lot of stuff that can get left out. So obviously this is a two-part episode because nothing has been resolved yet. And, you know, like I said, this episode did a good job of kind of combining all the storylines, but I do wonder how it's going to end, because if you don't want any spoilers, then you can go ahead and click off of this. But if you've already seen the show, then we already know what's supposed to be going on. But as for that, like, if we think about the Jet episode, not only is it trying to convey the message that the ends don't justify the means, you know, just because the Fire Nation, you know, just destroyed cities, took lives, you know, Jet lost his parents and everything, but Jet is now, you know, destroying cities in his own right and just hurting innocent people that really had nothing to do with that. And so you kind of learn that lesson, like the ends don't justify the means, and it's not really right to, I don't want to, kind of just take your anger out on anybody. But also another big part of that episode was Sokka. Sokka was a huge part in that episode because, you know, Sokka kind of, Katara and Aang really take a liking to Jet. They're like, yeah, he's a great warrior. Aang, you know, Aang just has a fun time with the freedom fighters, and Katara, you know, obviously she has a crush on Jet. But the thing that Sokka learns in that episode is that, you know, trusting your instincts is a good thing. And sometimes your gut feeling about a person, or, you know, like strategy wise, because, you know, Sokka was a strategist of the show, and it was really to emphasize and have him grow, because, you know, he had a bad feeling about Jet the whole time, and Aang and Katara was like, oh, you're just jealous that he's a better fighter than you, you're jealous he's a better leader than you. And Sokka's like, no, there's really something wrong with this guy. Like, he beat an old man, a helpless old man, and, you know, Jet made up the lie that he had poisoned, he was sent there to kill him. But at the end of the episode, you know, Katara and Aang really, not really Aang, because, you know, Aang's kind of go with the flow. But Katara, she really says to Sokka, she's like, you know, maybe it is okay to trust. Oh, Sokka knows it's okay to trust his instincts. But Katara, she kind of has that understanding, like, you know, yeah, it turns out you're right. I should have listened to you. I mean, I feel like that's the best way I can summarize that episode, just because that episode had a lot of character growth for Sokka. And here, with Sokka being with the Mechanist the whole time, he didn't really have that character growth for him to trust his instincts. I do like that we get to see him, you know, in his inventor side. You know, we didn't really get to see any of that the first two episodes. He was just kind of, you know, the funny guy. But now that we're finally getting a little bit of development for Sokka, but I do think Sokka not having those interactions with Jet, you know, kind of, hopefully we get to see it, but I don't really know how they're going to do it in the show, just because, like I said, that storyline was so involved with Jet. They're going to have to figure out another way to do it here. But I do like that we got to see Sokka hanging out with the Mechanist, you know, kind of, and I do like the speech that the Mechanist gave him about how, you know, the gifts that you've been given, you know, to follow those as well. Like, yeah, you want to be a warrior and you want to follow in the footsteps of your dad, but also you can't be like the exact same warrior that he is. Like, you have a gift for creating things, and you have really good ideas, and you need to be able to follow those ideas, you know, wherever they may lead. So that was a really good moment in the show, and I'm glad that Sokka, hopefully we get to see more of him. Like, maybe he is going to take what the Mechanist said and really apply it, and we're going to get to see more, you know, battle strategist planning Sokka, Because yeah, like I said, him not really learning that lesson about trusting his gut, it kind of sucks. But also, we also got the other half of his character development, so that was cool. And then Aang, as far as Aang's character development for that episode of the Northern Air Temple, when they first meet the Mechanist and his son, the thing that Aang really learns in that episode is, you know, you've been gone for 100 years, and there are some things that aren't the same, and it's really a huge part of that episode is Aang coming to terms with, yeah, like these people have moved into the Northern Air Temple. You know, they're destroying some of the old statues that we used to see, like the mural telling the history of the Air Nation with the flying bison and stuff. You know, he had a whole bunch of steam pumps and just water irrigation and all that other stuff. And he's like, this temple used to be a sacred place, and now you guys are just moving in here and destroying everything. But at the end of the episode, you know, Aang really learns that he's like, well, yeah, at the end of the episode, Aang really learns that it's been 100 years. The world that you're living in is different. It's not the same that it used to be. Like, they're refugees. You know, the Fire Nation came and destroyed their home, and they really have nowhere left to go. And yeah, it sucks seeing what you used to love be turned into something completely different. But also at the same time, he also found peace in knowing that, yeah, the Fire Nation came and destroyed their town, but they were also able to move and make a new life and start over, and, you know, somewhat be happy with what they've been given. Because if, you know, the Fire Nation never came and destroyed their town, then they would have never moved to the Air Temple. And he would have never invented the gliders. Like, he built a new life for his son in the air. Like, that speech that he gave in the animated show was really good. The mechanist, about how, you know, feeling like the Fire Nation kind of took everything and building a whole new world for his son in the air. So Aang didn't really get that character development. He did get the development of, you know, like, we're at war. And you would think you would have learned that lesson in the last episode with the Fire Nation coming to Kyoshi Island and burning everything. But he really learned it here, like seeing people actually get hurt for something that, at the time, he thought the Fire Nation did it, but we know that the Freedom Fighters did it. But, so he kind of learned a little bit of that lesson that he was supposed to learn in that episode, but not the full thing. So hopefully we get, like, the other half of each character, you know, the main three. Hopefully we get the other half of their character development with the following episode. And then, yeah, he never mentioned Boomy once. So, yeah, I just want to see their reunion. I want to see how they're going to play that out. But all in all, good episode. Like I said, I'm glad it wasn't as cluttered as I thought it was going to be. Even with the addition of Jet and the Freedom Fighters, you know, it felt like it was okay. It was a little slow at times, pacing-wise. But the only time it really felt slow was when Katara was talking about her mother and Jet was talking about his family and how his dad hit him in the well. But other than that, the episode was pretty good. So luckily, you know, them combining storylines isn't going to be a problem, it looks like. So yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.